how to optimize your WordPress website speed. Hey guys, this is Shan from MINIFY.com, and today in this tutorial, you are going to learn a step-by-step approach in which you can optimize your WordPress website speed right from grade C or grade D to grade A, and you can rank your website on top of Google, because to Google, the number one parameter for them to rank any website is the page load time, and number two is bounce rate. Now, both of them are intrinsically related to your page load time. So if you can improve your page load time, that means you can improve your ranking, and improvement in ranking can really get in a load of free organic targeted traffic, which can make more money to you. And number two, you can start giving freelancing services on sites like Fiverr. If we take a look on here, then you can see people charging $300, $250, $95, $60. So anything ranging from $50 to around $300, $400 for each optimization gig, right? And all of this will be a step-by-step process so that you can follow me even if you don't have any technical skills. Even if you don't know to install WordPress, then also you can follow this tutorial. So stick with me till the end of this tutorial if this is interesting to you. And if you are new to this channel and don't know me, then I'm Cheyenne from MINIFY.com, and in this channel I have regular videos on tips and tricks on how you can make money online, either in a passive way or in an active way. And if you want to get notified about all of those strategies, then please make sure that you do subscribe to this channel and hit on the bell notification icon so that you never miss out on any upcoming videos that I have on product reviews or on trainings on making money online. So with that being said, let's jump onto this tutorial straight away. So first things first, this is a site of one of my clients who has recently hired me for the speed optimization. And if you can see, I had tested this website for speed in Pingdom, and here you are getting the Pingdom results, right? You can see the load time is 4.63 seconds, right? Although the performance grade is quite good from Pingdom, but if we go over to Metrix, then it is another site used for testing speed, and you can see the performance is 50%, right? And the load time again is around, let me show you the fully loaded time, 4.4 seconds, right? So that's exactly what we got from Pingdom. Then if we go over to Google Page Speed, which is a free tool from Google to measure the performance of your website, then you can see the mobile version is having a score of 42 only, and if we go over to the desktop version, then it has a speed of 77 only, right? So that is the gradation that it has, right? Now, I have not worked on it. I wanted to do a live kind of thing so that you can get to know what are the exact steps in which you can optimize your website too, so that you can get better results. So with that being said, all of these steps, let it be like it is right now. And herein I have logged into the admin section of the same website, as you can see over here, right? Now, all that we need to do is go over to plugin and click on add new. Now, this is a WordPress website. So what we'll today use is a WordPress plugin, which is called WP Rocket. This is a paid version of the plugin, but it's well worth the payment, right? Now, with that being said, if you are planning to get any web hosting for your website, then I would recommend you to go over to A2 web hosting, because it is very fast, right? And it is the recommended web hosting that we have. And down in the description, you can find a link that would give you the best price. I'm quite sure that you won't get a comparable price anywhere on the internet. Plus, you will get the best of bonuses, because we do run a digital marketing agency and a web development agency for years. And with that being said, we have unlimited site licenses for a number of good plugins and themes. So we can help you with that as well. So with that being said, please feel free to check the link in the description, and let's proceed towards this tutorial. So just click on upload plugin and just go over here and click on choose file. And then we need to install the WP Rocket right here, right? So just click on install. And as you can see, it has been installed. So now what we want to do is to activate the plugin. So just click on activate plugin. And now that the plugin has been installed and activated, we just need to go over to settings. And in here, we can find this WP Rocket, right? You can see that. So just click on that and that will load up on this screen over here. So just let it load up. So let me clear this mesh up so that we can better view it, right? So just there we go. So congratulations, WP Rocket is now activated and it has already started working. So as you can see on the left hand side, you have got many options. So what I'll do is that I'll walk you through the main major options that you need to go through. However, please feel free to look around it and change anything that you want. But I do strongly recommend that you take a backup of your website before making any changes, right? So that is why I do recommend A2 hosting, because it has a built-in backup manager wherein you can decide to back up anytime you want with one click. You can just click on backup and then you can do a full backup, and then whenever required you can restore, right? So if anything goes wrong, you are covered with it, right? So with that being said, again, back to the tutorial. So herein, first things that you need to do is follow the steps carefully, right? So first go over to cache, right? And in here, you can see enable caching for mobile devices, right? So that will help increasing the mobile score. Then if you have separate plugins for mobile application and desktop application, then you can tick this one on, right? Then there is user cache. Now, this is something that you should use if you are having a membership website, right? So that it can be used for logged in WordPress users as well. Since mine is not a membership website, so I can or may not use it, right? So it's up to me. Then in the next time, what you need to do is the clearance of the global cache and recaching. Now, this interval will really depend on the time on which your new data is loaded to your website, right? So for e-commerce website, you have a batch that runs every 12 hours. So you need to keep this less than 12 hours, right? If your site is a relatively static one, that means changes do happen, but they happen at quite a long interval, so you can just feel free to keep whatever interval you want, but it best works for 10 hours, so let it be, right? So just click on save changes, and then we need to go over to the second part, and then we'll go over to the file optimization part. Now in here you will do MINIFY HTML. You can combine the Google font files. You can remove the query string from the static resources so that the database is not inquired, right? You can minify the CSS files, and you can click on activate the minified CSS, and then you can combine the CSS. Now, what happens is that you have multiple plugins, right, working on the same website. Now, they have different CSSs and they have different JavaScripts, right? So if they are loaded separately, that means for each loading, they would have a server call, right? A request to the server and back to the website. So that imports a lot of time, right? So that is something that you want to just bypass, right? And that's why you need to combine them. But it runs a risk that it might jeopardize your website. So that's why I recommended you have a backup, right? So if you want to exclude any of the CSS file, you can mention it over here explicitly, right? Then you can minify the JavaScripts in the same way as well, and you can combine the JavaScripts as well. So that is the thing that you need to do on this file optimization part, right? And then you just need to click on save changes, with which we'll go over to the third part. Now the third part involves media. So if we click here, you can see there is lazy load. So we can enable that for images and for videos. What lazy load means is that, say your website is a lengthy page one, right? And it contains 4 videos at 4 parts, one right at the top and one right at the bottom, right? So you don't need the bottom one to be loaded right at the first instance, right? So what it will do is that it will load up just the part of the website that is visible currently, so that the users get something to see whenever they just type in your address on the address bar, right? So that's a great thing to have, and you should definitely use it, right? And then you can replace the YouTube iframe with your preview image. What that does is that it lessens the time for interaction with YouTube. So that's a good way to have it, right? And then once done, you can just again click on save changes and go over to the fourth part. Now on the fourth part, you should go over to preload, and this is something that is very important, and you can see it has activated preloading already. So you can just leave it as it is. If you have a sitemap, then I prefer you go for this sitemap, and then you can just submit your sitemap, and that would even further enhance the optimization, right? So that's quite cool things to have. And then if you have different domains or URLs that you are fetching data from within your website, then you can insert those domains right in here so that it can prefetch the content so that it doesn't have to do that on the runtime, and that is going to save a lot of time, right? So just save the changes, and then we'll move over to the fifth part, right? So here on the fifth part, we will go over to the advanced rules. And in here, if we really want to set up these advanced rules like cache cookies and the never caching URLs. Now, never caching URLs are something that has frequent data changes so that you don't want to load a previously cached in site, right? So you can do it over here, or you can always purge URLs as well from here. So these are for a little advanced users. So I'm not going to go into it because not all of you are advanced users, right? And it is not going to affect you that much as well. The next one is the database. In here, you can see there are a lot of revision and auto drafts in here. So you can just go ahead and clean up all these posts, right? So you can just go ahead and you can also clean up the comments that it has. And also you can go ahead and clean up the transients that it has, right? And if there are any tables, you can just go ahead and optimize the table, and you can go for an automatic cleanup of your databases as well. But before that, it's strongly recommended again that you take a backup, right? So just click on optimize, and this will optimize your database resources. Now, this is an extremely important part because whenever a query is fired, it is fired on the database. And if your database is performing well, then there is a chance that it would take lesser time, right? So with that being said, it takes us to the next part, which is the CDN. Now you can buy CDN from here, but that will actually cost you time. But if you have a CDN already, then you can just add it over here, right? So if you are buying hosting like A2Host, then you are going to get free CDN as well. So that's quite cool. Then the hardware, you don't need that over here. You can straight away go to image optimization, right? You can just go ahead and use the Imagify plugin that it has, or you can use a plugin like Smosh, right? So I'll have a different tutorial on that. So since that is also a important part, right? So you can go ahead, you can go with the Imagify plugin as well. So you can install it, and then you can what it does is that basically it converts the PNGs and the JPEG file into WebP format so that it loads a bit faster, right? You can do it with Smosh as well. So that's quite cool. So with that being said, we have done the basic things. Now let's go back to the dashboard, because we have one important step that needs to be done. So that is this preload cache. You just need to click on this once, and that will ensure that your preloading of the cache is completed right now. So let's wait for this to stop so that we know that the preload cache has happened, right? So it has been completed. So now is our time to actually retest with the same URL and see what are the results, right? So we'll go ahead and retest with, first of all, Pingdom, right? So we'll do that in the order that we did the test previously. So we will just copy this link of the website, and we will paste it over here and click on Start Test. So here are our results, right? So you can see the performance grade has gone to A. So if we go ahead here, you can see that it was B86 and now it's A93, right? So that's quite cool, right? So we have increased that. Then we'll go ahead and check for Metrix. So let's enter Metrix here. And in here, if we see the previous results, then we had the gradation on to 50% grade D, right? So we'll again enter the same URL over here, and this time we'll test our site with WP Rocket installed. So let's wait for the test results. So as you can see, now the loading time is 1.5 seconds. So if we go over to GTmetrix and see here, it was 3 seconds. So quite cool, right? And the performance was D. So now let's see the performance. So let's go to GTmetrix. You can see 84%, so a 34% increase. So that's quite cool, right? Now that's a great thing to have. Now we'll go ahead and check for Google page speed. So let's enter Google page speed, right? And in here, we will enter the same URL and click on analyze. So before that, I want to see what was the results when we had it on the previous version with WP Rocket not installed, right? So the mobile one had 42 and the desktop one had a score of 77. So let's go over to the Google PageSpeed and wait for the results that it fetches right now. So here you are. So the mobile has been optimized from, let me check this, from 42 to it has gone up to 60, which means that this site is not that much mobile responsive. So this actually involves a lot on the design part as well. So you need to go ahead with the design parts. You can see here are some suggestions that are there, so you can use that, right? And with that being said, if we go over and check the desktop side, then you can see 98. So that is quite an improvement, right? It was 77, I guess, right? And now it's 98. So you can see that it works, and it works in less than 5 minutes. So it's a great plugin to have. Although it's a paid one, right? So you can just go ahead and purchase it. It has a one-time payment, so it's well worth it. And if you are buying any hosting again, or if you are planning to get a hosting recently, then I would suggest that you go for A2 hosting, because it has a pricing of $1.99 per month currently via my link only, right? So that's a special offer that you are going to get, and you can just go via the link down in the description to claim that offer. And if you do decide to purchase it from me, then you can just give us a shout out on our email ID, which is again down on the description link, and we will manage some of the best plugins and themes for you as a gift in return of purchasing via my affiliate link. With that being said, the link down is an affiliate link. That means I'll get a little commission if you do buy via my link, but that helps me in creating this kind of contents for you. With that being said, you can just get hold of the plugin and you can register your gigs on places like Fiverr, Freelancer, and you can earn a lot of bucks. As you can see, people are getting a lot of orders for this, and people are charging highly for this as well. So with that being said, I really hope that you have enjoyed this little tutorial on how to optimize your WordPress website speed. And if you do want to get notified whenever I'm online or whenever I do upload any new videos with any tips and tricks on making money online, then please again do remember to subscribe to this channel and hit on the bell notification icon so that you never miss out on any upcoming videos that I have on product trainings or trainings on making money online. So with that being said, we'll meet again pretty soon somewhere over the internet. Until then, please take care of yourself and your family. Signing off, Ishan from NK Academy. Take care. Bye-bye.